Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I'm so excited to have the Slayer helmet, guys. 67 combat. Which when I got the Slayer helmet for this account. But now, I have enough points, and after a very long grind earlier that sucked because low level and low XP, 58 herb lore, and I'm going to come over here to Crystalia and buy this fancy contraption. So now I also have an herb sack. Although I wanted to get the herb sack before I hit 60 Slayer, so I'm a little bit off. I'm a couple levels past, but that's okay. I still got it. I did have an Aberrant Spectre task where I had to bank like 3 times, but no more Aberrant Spectre tasks where I get lots of herbs and I have to bank, so that's awesome. Alright, so now I want to jump into a couple clue scrolls that I did this week. I only got an easy and a medium that I could do. I did get several hard clue scrolls this week, but I couldn't do any of them because they required me to wear blue dragonhide bodies or rune armor, which I will never be able to do on this account, so those clues will always get dropped. So let's check it out real quick. Let me get this loot, boy. Gimme. Hey. Ooh. 75k. That's what I'm talking about. Oh. I'm sitting here dancing for like days, and I just figured out that I have to blow a kiss. Now he'll talk to me. Ooh. Let me get them ranger boots. Nope. No ranger boots today. Alright, so now let's get into the actual progress that I've been making. So I actually skipped a week since the last video that came out for this Slayer alt. So what have I been up to? I have actually been very busy. I decided to go ahead and get the recipe for disaster subquests out of the way, all the way up to adamant gloves, because adamant gloves are going to be the highest from the recipe for disaster quest that I can ever use. And they're very beneficial. They give nice slash bonus for an initiate peer, the strength bonus, and a little bit of defense bonus. I actually had to do quite a few quests to get there. To do the Golem Shadow of the Storm for the Evil Dave ones, had to do some quests for the Lumbridge guide, but got it all done, and I now have the very important adamant gloves. The second very important thing that I got done on this account is unlock the fairy rings. Now, this account is going to be low level for the duration of its lifetime, and the fairy ring teleports are absolutely very important for getting to both the Slayer Tower and the Slayer Cave and various other locations around Gielinor. And if you didn't know, you unlock the fairy rings after the first part of A Fairy Tale 2 to cure a queen, and pretty much anybody can do that. You don't need that much. If you're doing an account like this, you will have to get level 13 defense because you will be doing the nature spirit quest in order to unlock the fairy rings, but that's not that bad. It won't increase your combat level very much. But a lot of people don't know that you don't have to finish A Fairy Tale 2 to actually get the fairy rings. So I finished Fairy Tale Part 1 and just started the second one, and now I have the fairy rings, can get around so much easier. So where am I heading with this account now, since I've gotten a lot of important stuff out of the way, that being the Fairy Tale quest for the fairy rings and the adamant gloves. From here on out, it's really just, training Slayer, getting the levels up, and I still do have a ton more quests to do that I can do on this account. Like I've said before, I am going to get every single quest done on this account that I possibly can. Mainly for clue scrolls and being able to get to different locations that have clue scrolls, but also just because, it's something to do, and I would like to have all the quests that I possibly can done on this account. But as far as, I guess, future goals, at this point, since I have unlocked the Slayer helmet and the herb sack, I guess my next goal for that is bigger and badder, so I can get some superior Slayer monsters, maybe have a chance at an imbued heart or an eternal gem. And obviously I would like to upgrade my gear. Currently I'm using a glory amulet and a warrior's ring, which not that good. So as I'm moving forward, I do want to eventually upgrade to the fury amulet, which they're not that expensive, so it shouldn't really take me that long. Same thing with the berserker's ring. I'm looking at about 6 to 7 mil, in loot that I need to sell to get those 2 items. And somewhere down the road, I definitely want to have an Amulet of Torture and some other things. As far as ranged goes, my best in slot range gear, aside from the Slayer helmet whenever I get that imbued, is going to be the Robin Hood hat, the Ranger's tunic, and Ranger boots, which are going to be very, very expensive. So I'm hoping that one day I will be able to afford that. But all of that will come in good time. But what about the loot that I'm going to get from this account? So here's my plan. For this account, I really, really want to showcase loot that I'm getting throughout the series so you guys can see how much I'm making, what I'm spending, profit, blah, blah, blah. But as far as the loot goes, what I'm doing right now is pretty much just selling everything as soon as I get it so I can really get started. I can really have, a lot of supplies in the bank ready to go for me when I get tasks. But once I hit level 65 Slayer, I'm going to start working into the videos, keeping the loot from each level and then selling it off at the end of the level by the time I hit, whatever the next level is. That way we can really get a kind of view on how much I'm making and maybe how much you could expect to make depending on the type of account that you have, because remember, this is a 20 defense peer, so I am going to be preying on almost every single task. So my profits are going to be a little bit lower because I'm going to be using a ton of prayer potions, but it'll still give you a little bit of comparison as to what kind of money an account like this and an account with lower levels can make. But alright, now it is time for what I do each episode. We are now going to jump into what my bank is looking like after about 5 weeks of this account, and my stats and what I have improved over the past couple of weeks. Alright, so let us check out my current bank. Up at the top, bank value is showing 4.2 mil, but I still have these from the past couple of weeks, which is giving me an extra 874k, so it's not actually 4.2 mil. As far as the cash department, I am hurting right now as I don't have that much cash. Rest of the stuff, I did get the Xerix talisman, so as you can see, I'm at raids right now. I've been using my alt account to scale raids for my main account. I pretty much just put it in there so it makes the raid one person bigger. Combat tab, obviously you got the Slayer helmet in there now and the herb sack. Everything else is pretty much the same. I did get a Turoth's task, so I had to go buy a leaf-bladed sword. I will never be able to use the leaf-bladed battle axe because it requires an attack level of 65, so it is sad days because that weapon is great. But it's okay. Combat tab hasn't really changed much. Runes, got some more elemental runes and some other runes in here that I pick up every now and then. As far as right here goes, this is my current loot that I'm saving up to be sold whenever I run out of supplies. One of the clues you saw earlier, or actually I don't think I got this clue on video. I got an iron plate body trimmed and a studded body G in the same level 1 clue, or maybe it was level 2. I can't remember, but it was a good chunk of change. And then my pot's down here just so it doesn't junk up my bank. And I have started the emote clue scroll tab, so any of the emote clues until I get a construction level to build stash units, all that stuff will go down here. Right now, bank, obviously it's still a work in progress. I'm still working on saving for some stuff, but it's coming along. Alright, so moving on to the stats, this is really where you can see the progress of this account. So from the last episode for this account, we'll start off with hit points. I was level 60 on the last episode, and I am now up to level 68. As far as strength goes, 10 levels from level 67 all the way up to 77, getting close to 80, and that's a pretty big goal for this account. And next is the Slayer skill. I am up from level 52 all the way to level 63, which is really nice because now I can be assigned Turoths and Aberrant Specters, which I have had a couple tasks of, and I've gotten quite a few herbs as you saw in the bank earlier. And you can also see maybe another couple stats that I've gotten some random levels from questing for. Herb lore is way up. It was level 19 on the last episode. It's now 58 because you have to get level 58 in order to purchase and use the herb sack from a Slayer Master. And in this episode, I'm currently sitting at level 71.78 combat. I will tell you guys, I cannot wait for 75 combat because I'm so ready to use Chaldar because Vanaka's tasks absolutely are terrible. Alright, that is going to wrap up episode 5 of my Slayer Pier series. I really hope you guys have enjoyed this episode as much as I have enjoyed making it. I really also hope that you're actually enjoying following the series, because I'm really having a lot of fun doing an account like this. It's something different, something off the wall. I'm hoping this week to make it to level 65 Slayer and beyond, which most likely I will, because I really want to start getting into saving up the loot from each level and dumping it at the end of each level. And, you know, obviously it'll get longer as time goes on with each level in between, but I think it's really going to spice up this series a lot. So once again, thank you guys for following along with the series. If you haven't done so yet, please tap that subscribe button on your way out. The subscribes really mean a lot to me, and they really help support the channel. If you have any questions or comments, you can also leave those down below, and I will try to respond to every single one that I can. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys on the next episode. Take it easy.